You give because somewhere inside you, you still believe that if you give enough, you'll finally be worth keeping. That's not generosity. That's a negotiation you didn't realize you were having. And the other person never agreed to the terms. You show up. You listen. You forgive things that haven't been apologized for. You accommodate schedules that never accommodate yours. You carry emotional weight that was never meant to be shared. And somewhere in the back of your mind, you're keeping score. Not because you're petty, because you're human, and because part of you is still waiting for the moment when all of this effort finally tips the scale in your favor. But it doesn't. It never does. Because people don't value what they didn't have to earn. This isn't about them being cruel. Most of the time, they're not even aware. They take what you offer because you keep offering it. They assume your presence is unconditional because you've never shown them otherwise. And why would they question a system that works entirely in their favor? You train them to expect this, and now you resent them for learning the lesson you taught. Here's what's actually happening. You're not giving from abundance. You're giving from deficit. You're pouring from a cup that's been empty for months, maybe years, hoping that if you just give a little more, someone will notice how much it cost you. But they won't. Because the people who take without asking are the same people who never stop to check what's left. And you keep going because stopping feels like failure, like proof that you weren't good enough to make it work. So you double down. You give more time, more patience, more chances. You tell yourself it's love, or loyalty, or maturity, but it's not. It's self-abandonment dressed up as virtue. You're not staying because the relationship is worth it. You're staying because leaving would mean admitting that all the time you already spent was wasted, and that thought is unbearable. So you stay, and you give, and you quietly disappear into the role of the person who's always there, but never considered. This is what happens when your sense of worth is tied to your usefulness. You stop being a person and become a function, the one who listens, the one who helps, the one who never complains. And functions don't get loved, they get used. And when they stop working, they get replaced. You think you're being selfless, but selflessness without boundaries isn't noble. It's self-destruction. And the people who benefit from it aren't villains. They're just people who were never taught to question a good deal. So let's be clear. Loyalty without reciprocity isn't loyalty. It's a one-sided contract you keep signing while the other person never picks up the pen. And every time you renew it, you're not proving your worth. You're proving that you'll tolerate being undervalued. You're afraid that if you stop, they'll leave. But they're not really here now, not in the way that matters. They're here because you make it easy. because you ask for nothing, because you've spent so long being low maintenance that they forgot you have needs at all. And maybe they will leave if you stop. And maybe that's the answer. Because a relationship that only survives when you're the only one trying isn't a relationship. It's a performance. And you're the only one on stage. Here's what you do. You stop, not dramatically, not with an explanation. You just stop offering what isn't being matched. You stop initiating. You stop covering for silence with more effort. You stop interpreting disinterest as someone having a bad day. You stop filling the gaps they leave. And then you wait. Not because you're playing games, because you're finally creating space for the truth. If they reach out, if they notice, if they adjust, then maybe there's something to work with. But if they don't, if your absence doesn't register, then you have your answer. And it's not the one you wanted, but it's the one you needed. This will feel wrong at first. You'll feel selfish, withholding, cold. That's because you've spent so long defining yourself by how much you give that stopping feels like cruelty. But it's not. It's clarity. You're not punishing them. You're stopping the punishment of yourself. Some people will call this distance. They'll say you've changed, become harder, less giving. And they're right, you have. Because you finally stopped negotiating your worth with people who had no intention of meeting your price. And here's the part that no one tells you. The people who loved you for what you did will leave. And the people who loved you for who you are will stay. And the difference between those two groups is everything. You don't owe anyone your exhaustion. You don't owe anyone access to a version of you that's running on empty just to keep them comfortable. You don't owe anyone proof that you're worth staying for. The right people don't need proof. They see it without you having to audition. And the wrong people wouldn't see it, even if you killed yourself trying to show them. So you stop. You let the thread go slack. You stop pulling the weight of two people's effort. And you see what happens. And if what happens is nothing, then you already know. You were never holding a relationship together. You were holding yourself hostage. This isn't about becoming cold. It's about becoming honest. It's about refusing to participate in your own erasure. It's about understanding that giving without receiving doesn't make you good. It makes you gone. You thought you were being loyal, but loyalty is mutual, or it's martyrdom. And martyrdom doesn't get you love. It gets you a eulogy no one will read because they were too busy taking what you gave to notice when you stopped breathing. You're not responsible for making people see your value. You're responsible for stopping the ones who don't. You survived being unseen. Now act like someone who knows what they're worth.